guys. Hello, everybody. We're back to do the reading for the transcript, and we're on the Jane Doe number 5. We're still having a conversation of what happened between what actually happened and what the fathers claim to have happened. So,
Hey,
hey, how are you?
good and you?
Did you have a good day?
That was awesome. I had even more fun watching it on TV, just going off on broke.
Oh, yeah,
Where's our readers at?
I'm waiting for our readers to come in. Rhoda says she's on her way. I don't know where Miss Nakia is at, and Miss Tanya says she's on her way. So, in the meantime, I just want to say hello to everybody.
Hello. Let me load up and see which one it is.
So,
Uh, what page was that? Oh no, 873. I got it right here. Okay. Awesome. Did you hear that nut say, yeah, I used y'all for clickbait?
who? Angela?
No, you know who. Choke Joke or whatever his name
Oh, he
is.
said he used us for clickbait. That's what he said.
Yeah, he said it. He was bragging about it.
When? Today?
Yeah, it was on his whatever little show. Because one guy came on and checked him. He said, "Man, how can you just lie and say that it was Azriel that you were getting ready to interview, and it turns out to be her father? Why didn't you just say it was going to be her father?"
Okay, we're not
You know
going
what
to
I'm saying?
talk about them right now.
No, I'm saying, and he was like, "Man, he said, this is my channel, and I do what I want." He said, "Yeah, I did."
Okay.
Yeah, I did use it for clickbait. I sure did. That was our cutaway. Yeah, yeah, that was crazy. We all know
Good
that.
evening, Miss Geddes. Good evening.
What's
Hey,
up, Fofo? How you doing, my brother? Mm-hmm. Brother Fofo. Or may I say JM with them initials, right? So how was you? Get you some sleep?
oh, I'm good.
Good. I know
Yeah.
you were shutting down saying you needed to get some sleep.
Hello,
Hello.
Hey,
how are you
any
today?
good in yourself?
Good. I was trying to go through Google Chrome
Uh-huh.
to see if it clear my mine up a little bit, but it
Mm,
says I gotta go through Safari.
nah, don't know. No, you gonna have echo issues and everything. Trust me.
How do
I
you
don't know
just
what kind of phone. What kind of phone do you have?
iPhone?
Well, it might work with yours because I have this Android and it was giving me Echo City and everything. So I went through Google Chrome and I haven't had any more issues at all.
Yeah, I noticed. That's why I was trying to go through it, but
Yeah, no more booting out, no nothing. I'm like, okay, Mr. Chrome.
I'm just
So
gonna
y'all
have
know
to.
we got some money to give away, not today, but we got some. This pot is increasing over here. Ain't that right, Fofo? Mr. Fofo? It's increasing. So we just thinking of some ideas of how we want to give something. We don't want to spoil you too much, says our host. Just don't spoil them too much, and everything. So just want to show you how appreciative. What's going on with them shirts there, Sylvia? What's up with production on them? You know.
Rhoda, hold on a
Hey,
second.
hey,
Hey, hey, Rhoda.
hey, hello. Can y'all hear me?
I can.
Oh, okay. I had to get everything set up, so just bear with me for a
Hi, Rhoda.
moment. Hey, Henny Hen.
Hey, Miss Bama, Denise.
I'm over here.
Hello,
If I'm-
chat.
If I'm
Joycelyn.
quiet, I'm just trying to figure a couple
Okay,
things
baby.
out on my phone.
See, I use Safari, but
Staying safe.
it said mine wasn't compatible, so I had to download the Google Chrome,
Yeah.
and that's what I use. So I just copied the link into the Google Chrome, and it come up because normally I'm on my telephone, and then I have the document, the PDF pulled up, but I'm on just the computer tonight, and like I was last night, so I don't have to use my phone. So
That's right.
we'll copy the
Hey,
link
Groovy family.
to Google Chrome.
I can.
Yeah, Google
Excuse me
Chrome
a
is the
second.
best. Yeah, Safari is worse.
It won't let me use Safari. It says it's
Oh,
not.
I tried. It was giving me Echo City. They was laughing at me because it was just echoing and everything. It was terrible. But I went through Google Chrome and I haven't had any more issues.
Can I do it on my? I can do it on my laptop, right?
You should be able to.
All right.
You
I'm
got
gonna get-
headphones hooked up to your laptop,
No.
or just going through the speakers of your laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to go through Chrome
Okay, I'm gonna check it out while
through
we're on.
there.
If I'm not answering, I'll
Okay,
be
I'm just
ready
waiting
to.
for 2 more people, and then we'll be ready to go, guys. I
Okay.
just need the extra time in between because we're at 7 minutes, and it's gonna take.
I want to end up at 3 hours like last night.
No, I'm stopping in 2 hours. I don't
At
want.
2 hours, okay.
I think we should get through it though. I think we have.
Whether we
let me
get
see.
through it or not, I'm stopping at 2 hours because it gets a little bit like overkill.
Mhm.
Beyond that.
Mhm.
Better get my snacks because we're gonna be sitting here. So make sure I got my water, mini orange, and all that good stuff. We're gonna be here for a couple of hours. Okay, let's see. Let's put you down. There we go.
The connection to the server timed out.
I'm gonna get.
How
I'm
many
gonna.
people do we have on there? Because we can get started and then.
What page we on?
872, I think. Let me see.
873.
873 at the top.
Line 12. Well, line
Line 12.
13.
Okay.
Let's get going because I don't.
Let's go with line 11. Just to get them all rise.
Hold on. I want to just get started because I don't want to be here all night.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Let me just get this.
So we on a 2-hour window or what?
We're in a what?
Are we on a 2-hour read window or?
Yeah, let's just because I don't want to prolong it and then because I take these feedback a little. I mean, when they send feedback, like, okay, it's too long.
Okay.
Mhm.
We'll just straight read. We won't do no commentary like we did last night.
Right. I think that's what drug it, but we was doing like little footnotes to say.
No, the
what
commentary
they're
is needed because we're reviewing of what happened based on what he
saying. What he
said.
said.
Yeah,
Right.
but we're just gonna cut it off at the 2-hour mark.
2 hours. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to pull it up right here.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Here, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You having problems?
No, I just don't like the way my phone.
It sound better. Are you going through? Is you on your regular phone or through your laptop?
No, I'm on my regular phone still.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go to the laptop because she said we was gonna start. I'm gonna go grab something to drink real quick.
Yeah, get some energy. And go back to the.
What date are we on? 23rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me just bring out the number.
Mm-hmm. How was everybody's Thursday?
Wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah.
in chat. Chat, we got 48 and 23 people in here, and we got a hater up in here, thumbs down. So can we get some likes, please? With the 48, we ought to be even with the amount of people inside the chat. So let's try to increase those likes, please. They're going up. I'm seeing them. Try to get in there. 52.
It
25.
seems like people are not interested in these transcript anymore. So
Well, that's because they done heard, you know what I'm saying? They done heard the verdict and they done did all that stuff. So I think the reason why we're reading this, right, is just to dispute, contradict
yeah, just Angela's.
homeboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Other than that,
You say 872?
I think going
872?
873 line.
Yeah, 873 line 11.
Okay.
Let's see them
And what were
chats
you
jumping
saying,
up.
Geddes?
Oh, I think going and we're finding stuff that we didn't find before.
Absolutely. I really enjoy us going through this, but I need to share something with you guys in a few.
Well, I mean, if they don't want to listen, then you can just do a select Google Meet group and read them and go through it line by line or whatever. So, you know.
Yeah, we can do that.
Denise said, I'm enjoying it.
Okay, Denise. So as long as we have one person that's enjoying it, okay, we'll keep
Avera say, I'm enjoying it.
Okay. All right, guys.
I know I had like five people that was gonna tune in, but every time I told them, and they're new to YouTube, they don't even know about it. They had to go under their kid account.
Yeah, they're enjoying it. Jocelyn say, I'm enjoying it. Joycelyn say she's enjoying it. K Baby Lane, I enjoyed listening to them.
Okay,
Mr.
y'all.
Fo, we know you enjoyed it, my brother. That's my man there. Gotta make sure y'all go to his page and subscribe if you haven't. That man got some hell of a gifts waiting on y'all if you just get there and subscribe to his page. Ladies, mods, can you put his page in a link for us? So just in case. Are you almost near 1,000 on your new one, Sylvia? Silly Sil.
I need them to go ahead and go to the other side and subscribe because I need to get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Are you almost near 1,000? Because there's some yeah, 600.
6 something.
6 something. Get it to 1,000. I think Fo got 100 and I got 100. So that's about $200 right there. As soon as she hit that 1,000, Fo the same way. Get to 1,000 right there on his page.
Well, how much he has now?
How many you have, Fo? Put it up in there. How many subscribers do you have? I got 200 for me to get. Oh, Fo say he got 200 just to get to 1,000K.
Wow! Congratulations.
How many you got now, though? How many you have? He have 346. So you get to 1,000 right there. He has $200 for you. You can get to 1,000 right there for Mr. Fo. And Sylvia has 600 and something, so she just needs about 691. So that's what 309. All right, 309. 309. Like Mr. Fo say 200 for the one that reaches 1,000 subscribers on his. I want y'all to build all the subscribers up before I create a page. Get it going, so this makes it that much easier. 200. Don't forget, Mr. Fo got $200 for the person that reaches 1,000, and then he's going to have a trivia question or something, I'm pretty sure. You want a trivia question, Mr. 444, or once you get to 1,000, that 200 is being cashed up to him? Which one is it?
All right, guys, you ready?
Let me go back to the script now. Come out the chat.
I hear echo. Oh, I don't hear it now.
Oh no.
Hey, Gooch.
What's up, brother Gucci? He's in the chat. How
Hi.
you doing, my brother?
You need to move back away from the mic because you're super loud.
Me?
Hold on, let me
No,
turn the
not you.
volume down.
He is. He's super
I
loud.
probably got to turn it. What that? How does it sound?
Say it again. Say something.
Is that better?
Seems like your mouth is so close to it.
No, it's not. Actually, my headpiece is over on the. But you can't pull it to me, but I got it as far away as possible.
Oh,
Probably your mic volume.
no,
Check your mic
everybody
volume.
else is low. You're the
Because I was getting ready to compliment you when you were in them with R. Kelly, our boy. Sound real good coming out of my speakers and stuff at home with my surround sound.
It just seems like you're loud, way louder than. Getty, say something.
Hold on, let me turn down media. Maybe that's it. Let's see. Hold on.
Getty, say something.
What about that? What about that?
Much better.
That's better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my media sound was up on the phone, so that's what it was.
Okay, guys. Where's
Okay.
here? Well, okay, we'll just go ahead and get started until those come in because I don't want to prolong it. All right, guys, let's get going.
All right.
All right. I'm just gonna say the everyday thing. All rise.
Everybody can have a seat. Let's take the witness. We'll see you after lunch. All right. Anything before we break for lunch?
Nothing from the government.
I know this is probably a pointless question, but do you know about how much more you have with the witness?
I think we're about halfway through.
Okay. I also just want to advise the parties that we'll take both days of Rosh Hashanah. The question then is, although I think the jurors have really arranged their schedules around this Friday off, so I think we'll still stick with the plan of when there's not a holiday during the week, we'll take that Friday off. All right?
I'm sorry. I did have one thing to raise. I'm sorry.
Sure. Which is away from a getaway. Go ahead.
The witness, there are two questions that I would ask her that a truthful answer would call for her to reference the defendant's prior trial and the nature of those charges. The first, which I haven't asked her yet, which was, why did you tell the defendant that you were 18 when you were in fact 17? Her answer is that she was aware of the fact that he previously had been charged with sexual exploitation of a minor. In addition,
Wow.
Mm. So she
Did
lied.
So you did
because of
read
that.
back the reason why she claims that she.
her answer is that she was aware of the fact that he previously had been charged with sexual exploitation of a minor.
So that means you guys already know. Your father and your mother already knew this, so they told you to lie because they didn't want him not to talk to you, not to. Okay.
No, so it would better their chances.
Exactly.
Yep.
So there's the
The
plot.
plot
Y'all.
thickens. The plot thickens.
Yeah, you guys heard that? Should we read that part again?
Make sure we mark that.
Oh, I marked it.
Okay, good. We're marking everything.
I even went back and I printed out his buffet tour.
Okay.
A little bit of time and put footnotes and.
Good. Yeah. Okay.
So,
But
start back and say the reason why she said that, because we want everyone in the chat to understand where this thing's coming from. Start saying this witness. Start with there.
Start at 14.
This
nine.
This
9?
There are questions.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. This witness. There
You're
are
breaking up. Why is she breaking up?
Am I
breaking up? Yeah.
I can hear.
This witness, there are two questions that I would ask her that a truthful answer would call for her to reference the defendant's prior trial and the nature of those charges. The first, which I haven't asked her yet, which was, why did you tell the defendant that you were 18 when you were in fact 17? Her answer is that she was aware of the fact that he had previously been charged with sexual exploitation of a minor. Keep going.
Yeah.
In addition, when we return, I anticipate that this witness is to testify about letters that the defendant had her write, including numerous falsehoods and embarrassing mentions, and she will testify that one of the reasons that the defendant explained that she was doing this was that it could protect him, and so the past was not repeated, and he will reference conversations with his attorneys. I would ask that I don't know how much of this would come out, but I ask that she be permitted to testify truthfully, to respond to these questions, and that we not limit her answers.
Oh Lord.
So you want her to answer
Oh.
truthfully. So that means she was not truthful before?
Ain't that something?
Yeah,
They really want the part coming out about his prior trial.
That's it.
What he was charged of. That's what they want. The
But
jury.
then he said she wanted her to answer truthfully.
Answer
So I thought when
truthfully.
you're on the witness stand, you're supposed to answer truthfully regardless.
Anyway.
Right.
So are you saying you knew she was gonna not be truthful?
That's what it sounds like.
Let's keep going.
Well, I think I made a similar ruling. I don't think you actually ever asked the question with the prior witness. And I think we had to come to sort of an agreement. But that Mr. Canick, I don't know in your views, have changed on that.
I don't think it has, Your Honor, but I would certainly discuss with my team. The other thing, Your Honor.
Into the microphone, please.
I might have issues with the verbiage that the government intend on eliciting in terms of sexual exploitation of a minor.
Mm-hmm.
Frankly, I don't know what the specific charges were.
I think Ms. Geddes maybe was just speaking generally. You can either do it by leading the witness a little bit through that, or just refer generally that he had this prior. However, you plan to refer it to it without calling it sexual exploitation of a minor.
Wow.
Still some more.
Geddes?
Yeah, I'm here. The dog's barking. I think
Number 25. Oh, you got it.
That's what he's actually charged with, but she is not going to say that at all.
That was his last trial. All right. So after lunch, why don't you just give us a heads up about what that might be? And then, like I say, I think this is the same ruling I made the last time. So I don't think much has changed. But let us know after the break.
I will.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, this is like getting ridiculous.
They really trying to squeeze that in, because no matter, even if the judge say disregard that, if they say, well, he was previously had sexual exploitation of a minor, that's gonna stick in their head. So they think,
especially the jury they got.
Exactly.
Number 3.
This is making me upset. No, I'm ready. I'm just kind of a little.
I know they sneaky.
I'm a little ticked off right now.
There's don't let me forget. I wanted to tell you something, but behind the scenes.
Okay.
All rise.
Everybody can have a seat. Are we ready for the witness? Oh, I know we're going to. Did you all figure out what it is?
We haven't, but let me just tell the defendant.
Okay.
What's wrong with the dog?
Okay, so we've resolved whatever. It wasn't even a dispute. You're both on the same page about how the witness is going to describe this.
I think so. I just want to ask counsel one more thing.
I'm assuming you've worked this out.
We're fine.
All right. If you need me, let me know. All right. Let's get the witness, and then let's get the jury.
Hold on, we don't have it though. Hold on a second. Let me see if she's.
Oh, I can play it.
You want to play it?
Yeah,
You sure?
I'll do that for Mimi. Until it comes to the cross. Oops. Hold on.
Who is this we listening to?
That's not us. That's somebody. That's
Oh, okay.
That's you and your background noise. Okay, you gonna play it?
Yeah, I'll play it.
Miss Geddes, you got the dog on the wraps right now?
Yeah, I'm moving to my room.
Okay.
I'm trying to say, give him some peanut butter.
Keep to lock his mouth.
No, he keep licking like.
All right, guys, let's go. I'm kind of pissed right now.
I know.
Because
your whole demeanor just switched.
It's just
did a 180.
I'm saying it's right there, guys. It's
trickery that's going on.
Yeah, it pisses you off even more when you know the jury didn't even look at it. You know, they didn't even pay no attention to this. None of this.
And then listening to what they're saying behind the sidebars, it's like, you know, it's already set up that way. Okay, go ahead. I'm a little bit ticked. Sorry. And then having him doing what he's doing all over the YouTube, so it's just adding on to them. It's like they're one of those things you want to just like. Okay, sorry. Geddes?
Yeah, we're okay.
Well,
Number 3.
877-23.
Yeah. What?
877 page 877 number 23.
23, line 23.
Oh, Your Honor, we may use a board on that easel. May we use a board on that easel if that's okay with the court?
I don't. Well, not my problem, I guess. But I don't understand how you're going to use it. Who can see it?
We're hoping the jury.
But it's facing here. Oh, okay. Let's get the jury.
Your Honor, can we approach for just one small matter?
With the court reporter?
Yes, please.
All rise. You may be seated.
Your Honor, I just received an email conveyed by our office that the court...
Your phone is breaking up, for real.
Oh, goodness. I just received, Honor, is it better?
Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, I just received an email conveyed by the officer that the court reporter or the court sketch, not court sketchers, sketch artist, wanted to know if she should be blurring the faces of the individuals who are testifying under pseudonyms. We would support that. We would support that they blurred just to further protect their identities. Although I'll be candid, those...
You can't tell from the sketches anyway.
I don't disagree with you on anyhow.
Sketching looks like Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse.
You realize that sometimes these transcripts get released. I'm not going to be in on that. First of all, I don't think that, at least it's my hope that nobody can tell who you are from those sketches. So I think that's not that big of a deal.
Thank you, Judge.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you had a good lunch. We're ready to resume with the direct examination of the witness. Go ahead.
The witness is reminded that she's still under oath.
When you first started living with the defendant, and after you moved back to Chicago in 2015, who, if anyone, from high school did you stay in touch with?
I stayed in touch with Malik and a friend. of a friend of my name, Mia,
How did you stay in touch with them?
via text message through Snapchat.
I want to ask you to keep your voice up a little bit.
Your Honor, can I have that answer read back?
Sure.
Now, do you remember what, if
Guys,
any?
can I ask you a question? Sorry, just to break in for a second. They remember she said she was living with him for 5 years, right? We came down for it to be like
Mhm,
4 years, right?
mhm,
He went to jail in July, right?
Mhm.
And she started living with him in September, supposedly. September. So it's not even a full, it's only like 3 years or something.
mhm.
Oh yeah.
Because a year would be she didn't start living with her supposedly until September.
Right. So
So it would
September
have been in
15 to
September.
September of 19. That's only that would have been 4 years, but if he went to jail in July, so it's like 3 years and what, 10
That's some
months
change.
maybe?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to see something. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to write that down. 3
Yeah.
years and some
3
months.
years and 10 months.
Can
Sorry.
you give me 1 sec so I go grab my pencil?
Okay.
All right.
I don't know why her phone has like
3
No,
years.
I wonder do she have something up in the background too, like the YouTube page.
Yeah, because it's like skipping.
And I hear us in the back.
I do too.
Mm.
I'm a little perturbed right now.
I know. I was listening to y'all when I was at the eye exam eye place, where
I know.
y'all caught her daddy in a lie
Skip.
when he was talking about they was talking about the trial back in 2017 and 18. I'm like, okay, but he didn't get charged and arrested till 19. So what they talking about?
So 2017 and 18, that means that they were conversating about it.
Yeah, and they were setting the plan, plotting and everything then.
Mhm.
Because you may hear about allegations, but he mentioned the word trial.
Trial.
So he knew, and then the host was like, "Well, I told you R. Kelly was gonna be innocent." Okay, but that wasn't the case. But so y'all discussing how the trial is gonna go, and he wasn't even charged yet. That's weird. Yeah.
Mm.
2017 is when they first started doing all this shenanigan. When Duragaga sent out that message on July 2017.
So they probably was talking to some of the agents, and they probably like, oh yeah, we're gonna bring him to trial. I bet you they had to sit there as a motion for them to say, like, you know, it wasn't like, well, he gonna be charged. We know he gonna be charged. No, you mentioned trial. I told you how the trial was gonna go. Really?
Mm-hmm.
And
that's probably what. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go. No, I was getting ready to say that's probably why they got immunity from prosecution, as long as they could sit up there and go along with whatever story they was making up on him.
Right. This is some dirty, dirty stuff.
Yeah, it is. And then did you notice that when we was going back to that buffet tour, the prosecution is the one that said when she was 17, when you was 17, and she said yes.
And they kept using that 17, drilling it in the
Mm-hmm. They sure did.
But
17.
Wasn't 17, she was 18.
Yeah. And I was stressing, are you sure it was the buffet tour? If she said, yeah, I'm positive it was buffet tour. Well, guess what, sweetie? The buffet tour didn't start till, when I tell y'all, March of 2016.
Oh, I got the papers right here.
Yeah. And it ended in, what did I say, November, October 2016?
It ended in November.
November of 2016. And
when did it start, Miss Teddy?
I think I wrote March.
It all out.
Or was it February? February or March of 2016.
She said she got it in front of her. What does it say in front of you?
It started April 29th of 2006.
Okay, you were breaking up. What do you have? What do you have in the background?
Nothing. It started April 29th of 2016, and it ended November 13th of 2016. And I printed out everything. I printed the whole.
So she was 18, so they lied
Yep.
on the witness stand. Wow.
I was trying to remember. Do you remember any city she said she was in?
Well, I know she said for the buffet tour or the Black Panties tour.
The buffet tour.
She said the black panties for the fairground, and she said buffet on the something else.
And we can find out if he gave out. And I'm sure if he didn't have his Black Panties tour when he was on the Funk Fest, why would he be giving out Black Panties at the Funk Fest?
Right. I'm gonna print out that Black Panties when I just didn't have time. I'm gonna print them all out, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I was just okay. You ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I don't agree with you anyhow. Or did we read that already? Thank
I
you.
know you're on line 25.
925.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, do you remember what, if anything, the defendant did on October 2nd of 2015?
No.
I'm showing the witness what's been marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 205A. I'm showing the witness what's been marked for identification as Government Exhibit 205A. Do you recognize what's shown in 205A?
Yes, I do.
Does that refresh your recollection as to what happened on October 2nd of 20?
Yes.
What happened that day?
I had expressed to a friend of mine that he nutted, ejaculated inside of me.
And when you say he, who are you referring to? We got a bad echo.
It's your phone.
Mine?
Somebody cut the volume or if you have the YouTube page open, cut the medium volume down.
Yeah, cut the volume down on the YouTube.
The medium volume if you got the YouTube page open.
Okay,
Yeah.
give me 1 second.
Yeah, because that's
And
where
you have to lower the media volume.
They laughing at you, Terry.
I know they are. This for you, Mimi, baby.
we got to do what we got to do.
You got to. Gonna bring some life to this part.
Yeah, because I'm pissed. I'm
But it's hurt my throat, but I'm gonna do it.
You let me know when you need a break, and I can try to.
you want to do the judge, and she do the other part.
Who y'all want to do the part in the chat? Tell Sylvia. What it say, Sylvia? Who it say?
Says we know we could tell. Okay, they talk about me being pissed.
You want to be the judge, or it don't matter with me. You know, if it's her.
No, you can do them both. You can do them both because you're hardly up there, so you can do it both.
She can't do both. You do.
Okay. All right. Okay.
You do. Let her do the girl Azriel. You do.
I'll let her do Azriel.
Yeah. Hold on. She Henny
the judge don't have too much. I mean, you know.
Henny Hand, oh my gosh, Lord Jesus.
What happened?
Let me put the link in here. She's gonna have to go get the link from the page. Okay. Yeah, I'm just like over it right now.
No.
I'm just like over it. Thank you, Big B. But I'm over it, y'all. The way I feel right now, and the way he messed with me today. And then listening to this.
Oh, so the actual recording you were playing, he was going off on you?
Yeah, he was talking about me. Yeah.
So he went back on the guy's show and was
he
talking about you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was mad because last night, did y'all hear my live from last night?
One you did afterwards?
You know, I came back in.
I heard it this morning.
Yeah, he was talking about his bankruptcies and.
Yeah, I heard it today when I was at work.
Oh, that sounds much better. Okay.
No, it was the Angela Slow.
Hit dog will holler.
Mhm.
Is that what you? Ain't that what the caption was?
Yeah, his dog will holler.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't get to watch any comments or anything because I can only listen.
So did you turn your YouTube down in the background?
I just cleared out everything in my phone and
So your YouTube is off, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she sounds much better.
You do.
Okay. This darn phone has been giving me problems. Okay.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry, whoever's listening
Sorry.
now while we get ourselves together.
Okay.
So you're
And
on.
when
Okay.
who are you referring to?
The defendant.
And did you tell your friend that because this, in fact, had happened on that day?
Yes, it did.
And when do you recall where in earlier October of 2015?
I do not know.
What, if anything, do you recall happening on October 4th, 2 days later of that same year?
I do not recall.
I'm showing the witness only what's marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 205D. And actually, may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes. All right. I thought you wanted a sidebar.
Oh, no. Does looking at 205D refresh your recollection as to what, if anything, happened on October 5th of 2015 or
Hold on. I thought he was taking over the judge part. What is he doing? Sleeping over there?
You're doing candy.
No, I'm right there. I didn't. Oh, I thought she was doing double. She's gonna do the double part. I'm right here listening.
You just listening, not stepping in, giving her
Oh,
all.
okay. I'm sorry. It's hard to concentrate when you've been demoted. I'm having fun, y'all. Okay, let's go.
Okay,
Let's go.
Does looking at 205D refresh your recollection as to what, if anything, happened on October 5th of 2015 or October 4th of 2015?
Yes.
What happened?
I had a conversation between a friend and it was describing how an abortion, the procedure for an abortion.
Why were you having that conversation with your friend?
Because he had ejaculated inside of me.
And what, if anything, were you concerned about?
Pregnancy, because he had not used protection ever.
Do you recall having a conversation with the defendant about what he would do if you were, in fact, pregnant?
I do.
How did the defendant react?
He did, in fact, say that he would want me to get an abortion because he wanted me to keep my body tight.
Tight, but she's in Dubai doing porn.
Exactly.
And how, if at all, now I'm sorry, but no victim does that.
Exactly.
I mean, the way she's acting, she's really something else.
She sure is. She's a sociopath.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Hmm.
And how, if at all, did the defendant say your age was a factor in that decision?
My age was a factor.
What did he say?
He said that if I was any other age, it wouldn't make a difference.
And how old were you then?
I was 17.
How did you feel when you believed that you might be pregnant and might have to get an abortion?
I was scared.
The government offers 205A and 205D. Sylvia, I'm sorry. Will they have to release the abortion records? Because there should be some.
This somebody saying
No, because that's HIPAA.
Remember,
That's
they will not release any of their records.
Mm-mm.
Not in the New York case, but somebody said they got them for the Chicago case, right?
Yeah, Chicago, they requested their medical.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Good. So it all come out.
Any objections? No, Your Honor. Okay.
And just to be clear, do you recall who you are talking about this with?
It was either Mia or Malik.
May I publish 205A?
Yes, jury only.
Okay, my question is, y'all, how did she not remember who it was, Mia or Malik? Malet.
She's a liar.
She's giving multiple answers just in case it wasn't one, it was the other.
Mhm.
Right. Okay. Jury only, please.
There you go.
And there is several blurbs here. Who wrote what's reflected there?
I wrote those messages.
Okay, you sound just like her.
And what is the date on which these were sent?
October the 3rd, 2015.
And can you read what's here where my pen is pointing?
I said, you know, he nutted in me before his show today.
And again, you're referring to the defendant?
Yes, I was.
And what did you mean by the term nutted?
He had ejaculated inside of me.
And how about, what did you mean by his show?
Before his performance.
And again, for the jury only, may I publish 205D?
Yes.
Where I'm pointing my pen, putting my pen, well, let me start with, on the first page, who sent those text messages?
I sent those text messages.
And on what date?
October the 5th, 2015.
So what tour was he on then?
This is supposed to be the Black Panthers, ain't it? But she said
Okay.
Buffet.
I'm marking a note by this date.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay. And where my pen is pointed, what does it say?
It says, I'm going to kill myself.
And what did you send after that?
The procedure of how abortion is done.
Were those photographs of that?
Yes, it was.
And I'm now turning to the fourth page of 205D. Can you, again, who wrote these? Who sent these text messages on this page, page 4 of 205D?
I did.
Can you read what you wrote where my pen is pointed?
Yes. I said, I can't go through with this.
What were you referring to?
An abortion.
And now, where my pen is pointed, can you read that?
He nutted in me today.
So, Miss Sylvia, they didn't have no record of her abortion? I'm sorry, but that...
Or pregnancy. I mean, you know.
She wasn't pregnant. She turns around in the thing said she wasn't.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. Because that...
But my question is, so as far as her parents, weren't they, she wasn't on birth control?
Yeah. Question.
No birth control. And I guess the herpes don't went away. Now we're talking about an abortion.
But my question is that you've been with this man for how long? 4 months?
Yeah.
Right, by this time?
Yeah.
It's hard to decipher how long she's been with them because the whole time she's been with them, she's been 17.
Yep.
From what they're trying to say.
That's the longest 17 I've ever seen.
You ain't lying.
I'm telling you.
Oh, you want me to go ahead?
Yeah.
And now, just for the record, who are you referring to by he in the sentence?
The defendant.
And how about here? Can you read that where my pen is pointed?
But he said, we need to look into that abortion stuff because He wants to keep my body right and tight.
Does she have on her glasses now? Because wouldn't she have a problem identifying him, R. Kelly, when they asked her who was over
Got her
there?
glasses that day.
Yeah.
And now, oh, she got a glass. Because I'm saying, she like, can you read where my pen is pointed?
Exactly.
Like she wasn't
Yeah,
having no
this-
problem.
This is the next day. She has glasses. No, this is the same day.
It's the same day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And she can't see close up, but she couldn't see him sitting over there.
Maybe she don't see far-sighted. Maybe she's nearsighted.
Well, she
Okay.
couldn't see, but her dad was saying, how she was in front of him, but she couldn't even see him. So
She wanted him
how
to
could
stand up so she could see what she'd been missing.
right?
Hmm.
And I'm now turning to because remember she said when the back of his head, something. Remember in that video?
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm now to the 8th page of 205D. Can you read where my pen is pointed?
Now, if I was 18,
And
Oh,
below that?
he wouldn't care about the baby. Speaking that I'm 17.
there they go with that daggone
Yeah.
And again, what did you mean by that?
He had expressed to me, had it been any other age, that he would have wanted to start a family. Yeah, right.
Really.
Like he was
Yeah,
talking
please.
to you about that. You've been with him for four months, whatever amount of time, and he okay.
She fantasized.
And remember, she must have just moved right into first place. She was just so good or something. And again,
Terry sound frustrated.
just
Oh,
for
I'm telling you.
He breathing. Did you hear him?
Sorry.
it's
Sorry.
getting me ticked off.
Over here with these special effects.
And again, just for the record, who wrote these text messages shown on page 8?
I sent those messages.
And I'm showing you page 6 of that. There are some text messages in gray and some in blue. What does the gray indicate regarding who sent those?
Me.
And how about the blue?
That is whom I was speaking to.
And I want to direct your attention on page 5. Do you see where my pen is pointed?
Yes.
What does that say?
It says, tell Mia.
Does that refresh your recollection as to who you were talking to in this text message?
Yes.
Who was it?
Malik.
And how do you know that?
Because I told her to tell Mia.
And one line up there.
There, Mr. Malak.
It's Malak. Okay. Malak.
In one line up there, it says like FR. What did you mean by that?
Like, for real.
FR stands for real.
Yes.
And above there, you also referenced a Plan B pill. What did you mean by a Plan B pill?
That is a pill that you take immediately after someone has ejaculated inside of you.
Now, how would she know about the Plan B pill?
Because plan A didn't work.
Exactly. and my thing is, why she's stressing this penetrated and ejaculated? Girl, you be saying sex and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to use these
So,
prosecutors?
Yeah.
Why is it you worry about if he ejaculated in you supposedly, and then the same time you thinking you're pregnant?
Exactly. Come on, girl.
that's how you can tell that she's been coached by the government because
Of course.
exactly.
Exactly.
Court at 23 years old. Now, did you ultimately learn whether or not you were pregnant in October of 2015?
I was not.
You testified earlier about the defendant wanting you to limit communications about him and you with your friends. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Now, see, that's another thing. He never said he didn't want him talking to her friends. He just said that he didn't want her talking about him to them, according to
And my
This.
this not a regular guy. This guy's a celebrity. So anything
Right.
that is said or done on phones, it could all be sold to the media. So I can understand them saying, no, you need to limit what you talk about.
Right. Me too.
Yeah.
And the parents, especially if they was acting the way they was acting, there's no way I'd want her telling anything about me to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? If I was him, why were you able to communicate with your friends about what was going on between you and the defendant in those text messages?
I would delete the text messages out of my phone, and I had told both of them never to text me unless I was to text them first.
And why did you do that?
Because I knew that the defendant was very controlling about who I spoke to and what I spoke about.
Were there certain times when the defendant spent more time away from you?
Yes.
Where would that occur?
It would just depend on the city that we were in his schedule.
And were there any cities that you recall where the defendant was less likely to be around you and more likely to be somewhere else?
Not necessarily. No, if I was with him.
Okay, in those text messages, where you referenced Plan B, what did you understand the purpose of a Plan B pill to be?
It would kill whatever possibility of life.
And what was the purpose so that you wouldn't continue to be pregnant?
Yes.
Now, in those text messages, do you recall your testimony earlier today about those trips to California?
I do.
And while you were 17, did you take additional trips to California with the defendant?
Yes, I did.
And do you remember where you traveled to?
I do not.
Do you remember what the purpose of the travel was for?
He had shows.
Boy, I'd really like. And while you were traveling to California to see the defendant or to accompany the defendant while he performed at his shows, do you recall whether or not any of your sexual contact with the defendant was recorded?
Yes, it was.
What was it recorded with?
An iPad that was in his possession at all times.
And that was when you were 17?
Yes.
What, if anything, do you recall sending your friend on October 19, 2015?
I don't recall.
I'm showing the witness what's been marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 205F. Do you recognize what's shown in 205F?
I do.
Does that refresh your recollection as to what, if anything, you sent to your friends on October 19th of 2015?
I do, yes.
What did you send your friends?
I sent them pictures of me and the defendant.
Why did you do that?
Because I just needed someone else to have proof, just in case anything happened.
And you say you were concerned in case something happened. What do you remember? Do you remember what type of phone you had back then?
At this time, I had an iPhone that the defendant had paid for.
She had an iPhone with the defendant and an Android with her millionaire dad. Okay. Do you remember when you got that iPhone?
When I left to be homeschooled earlier that year.
And what, if anything, did the defendant say about the iPhone?
He made me put a passcode on it, but he was to know the passcode at all times.
Do you still have that iPhone?
I do not.
Why not?
The defendant broke it.
And I want to direct, while the government offers 205F.
Any objections? May I see it? No objections. Okay.
May I publish?
Yes.
We're still having an echo. Whose writing is in gray?
Me.
And right here where my pen is, what did you write?
I said, keep these.
What are you referring to?
The photographs that I sent.
Now, where my pen is pointed, that first photograph on 205F, what is that?
That is the defendant.
Who took that picture?
I took the picture.
Where did you take it?
He was actually shooting the cover art for his buffet tour album cover art.
And the buffet tour was the one that you were on when you returned to live with the defendant after you started homeschooling. Is that right?
Yes.
Hold on one second. Okay. And turn to where my pen is pointing. What is that photograph of?
That is a photograph that the defendant took of me and him.
We have bad echo.
That's your phone.
Mine?
Mm-hmm. We hear it.
I don't have nothing on.
We hear it.
Did you take some? Did you download Safari?
No, I didn't. Do you recall where you were?
Oh, she sounds great.
No, I sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We were sitting in the fitting room at the studio that he was shooting his cover album.
And I'm sorry. What was the room that you were in?
It was a fitting room where you would change.
And is that you on the right?
Yes, it is.
See, I hear it.
If she asked her how old is she one more time.
One more time.
How old are you?
I was 17 years old.
And how about where my pen is pointing here and here? Who are those photos?
That is me and the defendant.
Was that taken in the same location?
Yes, it was.
And how about this one where my pen is pointed?
Yes, that is me and the defendant.
Same place?
Yes.
And finally, I'm going to turn to the last page. See, I'm echoing bad.
Yeah, it's you.
It's you. We don't hear it.
Oh, you don't?
That's on your end.
Oh, okay. Where my pen is pointed, who is that a photograph of?
Me and the defendant.
Do you remember where that was taken?
It was the same day.
He appears to be in different clothing. How's that?
Oh, no. He had changed his outfit.
And was that as part of the shoot that was going on?
Yeah, he had multiple looks.
Now, do you recall where you were on November 14th of 2015 and where you were going?
I do not.
Give me just 1 sec. I got to.
Okay.
What page are we on?
We're on page 893.
Okay. So they still talking about this buffet tour, y'all.
Yeah, and see, this is still the first few months that she's been with him. And he did the album first before he did the tour.
Yeah, and she was 17 for the 417th time.
Yeah, because if she talking about that buffet tour, she was 18 years old.
She's really 18.
Her birthday was December of 2015. The buffet tour started when? March. April 2016. So if you getting ready for
Oh
that,
yeah, she's 18.
you 18, honey.
Hey, Spitfire.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
The government, I'm showing you what's been marked for identification as 205I. Can you take a look at that and let us know if that refreshes your recollection as to where you have been and where you were going?
Yes.
Where had you been?
I had been to LA and Vegas.
And do you recall why you were in Los Angeles and Las Vegas?
Yes. He had shows.
And where were you going?
Back to Chicago.
And can you take another look at that?
Yeah, we were in Chicago. Sorry.
Where were you going?
To New York.
When were you scheduled to leave for New York?
The next day.
And what is the date of these?
November the 14th, 2015.
Oh, Lord. 2000? Yeah, you told me yes. Tell me what you turn the water on first.
The government offers 205I.
No objection. Okay, those are in evidence.
By the way, did you wear glasses?
Go ahead.
I look crazy, right? The balloon. Sorry, guys.
By the way, did you wear glasses back then?
I did.
What type of glasses? Can you describe the glasses that you wore?
I had a few large frames and I had a few small rectangular size frames.
Was the defendant aware of your friend Malik, who you exchanged those text messages with?
Objection. Objection.
Are you
He was.
objecting?
There's an answer. He was.
Oh, can you do it so I can hear you? Thanks. The objection is overruled.
Wait, you skipped your part. After objection, look at line 6.
He was.
Are you objecting? Yes. Oh, can you do it so I can hear you? Thanks. The objection is overruled.
Was the defendant aware of your friend Malik?
He was.
What, if anything, did you tell him about your friend Malik?
I had told him that she was my cousin.
Why did you tell the defendant? Was Malik your cousin?
She is not.
Why did you tell the defendant that she was your cousin?
I felt that if I told him that she was a family member, that he would allow me to stay in communication with her.
And I am showing you what's been marked.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Henny?
Get it? Sound like he kicked her out.
Oh. Okay, well, we're going.
Number 22.
We're on 22.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm showing you what's been marked for identification as 205 paren J. Do you recognize what's shown in 205 J? Yes, I do. What is that? It's a video from my best friend, Mia. And how did you react when you received that video? I was anxious. How had you received the video? Through text message? And what about receiving the video made you anxious? Because the defendant had the passwords to my phone and he would check my phone and he didn't really allow me to talk to them. And what, if anything, how did you respond to your friend after you received that video? I told her that she couldn't do that. And why did you tell your friend that she couldn't do that? Because he checks my phone. The government offers 205 paren J.
No objection. Okay.
Can we publish this, please?
Go ahead. Jury only.
Yes, jury only, please. I want to direct your attention to this, indicating where my pen is pointed. What is shown there?
It's a video of my friend Mia.
And where my pen is now pointed, what is there?
It is a text message from me.
And what did you say in your text message? Can you read it?
You know, y'all can't do that because he checked my phone.
And when you say y'all can't do that, who are you referring to? Who was the you in that?
Malik and Mia.
And were these your friends from high school?
Yes.
And when you say he checked my phone, who was the he in that sentence?
The defendant.
And turning to the second page, can you read this blue entry indicating where my pen is pointed?
What are you going to say if you see the video?
And how did you respond right below?
He's going to be like, why is that your BF when you said you be texting your cousin?
Who did you mean by BF there? What did you mean by BF?
Best friend.
And what were you saying in this particular text message?
Meaning that he only allowed me to talk to Malik because I had told her that she was family. However, Mia, he did not want me communicating with her.
Okay, but he didn't want her talking to her family.
And if you notice, she ain't texted her mama since, what, California?
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Right.
Not even when she got back to Chicago, we ain't seen nothing from her to the mama.
Yeah.
Or the daddy, if he was in jail or whatever. But no, I mean, it's just nasty, Malik and Mia.
Yeah.
And then she said earlier, well, he said it, I told her Malik was a cousin because, he, as if it was okay if I was talking to my family, but not my
right.
family.
Right. That's what I was just trying to point
so
out.
That's the problem.
Yeah. And can you read, I turned the page to page 3. Can you read the response on page 3?
I just don't want to have to block your number because he think I'm being immature. That's why I deleted apps and everyone's number, because I gotta show some age now that I'm with a 48-year-old. So doing so has made me grow out a lot of young habits. Just don't want to ruin the one shot I have at being able to talk to you.
And when you referenced a 48-year-old, who were you referring to?
The defendant.
And finally, I am showing you what's been marked for identification as 205M. Do you recognize what's shown in 205M?
Yes, I do.
And I am turning to page 2. Can you take a look at that for a moment?
Yes, I do.
Generally speaking, what is showing in this particular exhibit?
Basically, me texting and saying that certain things that they can't do because it would get me caught up.
And what is it that you didn't want your friends to do?
They couldn't text me or reach out to me like without me doing so first.
And when you say it would get you caught up, what did you mean by that?
Meaning like I would get into it would cause an altercation between me and the defendant.
And turning to page 1, can you tell what the dates of these communications were?
January the 8th, 2016.
So she was 18 there.
She's 18.
The government offers 205M.
Any objections? No. All right. That comes into evidence.
And I am turning to page 2. Court.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just thinking, I'm wondering if we're going to hear any references to her age now that she's 18. Now that, exactly. We're going to see if we hear anything about her 18 now. Okay. Is this just for the jury?
Yes, just for the jury.
Make sure you let me know.
I'm sorry, yes. Can you read what you wrote? Is the gray text message that you sent?
Yes.
Can you read what you wrote there?
Texting you would get me caught up.
And where my text message, or I'm sorry, where my pen is pointing now, indicating, what does that say?
You got to learn how to use code, baby girl.
That's what baby G is?
Yes.
And what did you mean by that?
Meaning that there was a specific way that she would be able to talk to me. And if it wasn't like everyday stuff, then she couldn't text me.
And by everyday stuff, what are you referring to?
Like if it wasn't just her saying, how are you, or how are your nails, or how is your hair, if it wasn't what he would call it innocent stuff, then I wasn't able to talk to them about anything personal.
And who are you referring to when you say he?
The defendant.
You testified earlier that you were concerned because if the defendant had learned that these text communications, there would be an altercation. What did you mean by that?
In 2015, the defendant had introduced me into what he called chastising.
And what are chastising? Or what do you mean by chastising?
Spankings.
We'll talk about that in a moment. Now, in the beginning of that time, of the time that you spent with the defendant, what, if anything, did the defendant tell you about other females in his life?
The defendant told me that he had multiple women and girlfriends.
How did you react to that?
I was okay with it.
What, if anything, did you eventually learn about his relationships with those other females?
I had learned that they were actually all living together.
How did you learn?
I had learned from the defendant.
In what way?
When we were in Atlanta and anywhere that we would be, I had at the studio and in Atlanta, he had a guest house in which they all lived there.
And by they, who are you generally referring to? Are you referring to the other females that you just mentioned?
Yes.
Do you recall when you learned that the defendant was living with other females?
I do, yes.
When was it?
It was in Atlanta.
And approximately how long had you been spending time with the defendant at the time that you learned that he was living with other females?
It was in 2015.
Do you remember how long it was, though, that you had been with the defendant?
Probably about 4 or 5 months.
Okay, if it was...
Ready to scream, Ken?
Okay.
Okay.
And how old were you there?
I was 17.
Now, wait. When she moved with him in what month?
Her daddy said September, but we know the first time she went to California, allegedly went to California, was in April. Then when she said school got ready to start in what? The fall.
September.
So that was September, and she had to go back home. So that was only what? April, May, June, July, August, 5 months. 4 or 5 months. Okay.
Okay.
Well, wasn't they supposed to start her in like homeschooling or something?
Yep.
Yeah.
For her senior year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she said probably 4 or 5 months. So she
it's not her senior year yet. That's right. That's right.
She would have been 18.
Mm-hmm.
September, October, November, December. That's 4 months. Well, it's questionable.
Yeah, it's questionable.
By then, were you still having sexual contact with the defendant?
I was, yes.
Without using any full names, who did you learn was living with the defendant at that time?
Nick, Juice, Joy, and B.
I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 69B. Do you recognize 69B?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
What is 69B?
This is Nick.
The government offers 69B.
No objection. Okay, that's in evidence.
May I publish?
To the jury only.
No, you can't publish. And I am showing the witness only what's now been marked for identification as 69C. And before I do you know Neek's first and last name?
I do.
I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as 69C. On top, is that the same photograph that was just shown in 69B?
It is, yes.
And below, there is a name. Is that the name that you know to be the first and last name of Neek?
It is, yes.
The government offers 69C and would ask that the court publish it to the jury only.
No objection. Okay.
I am showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as 52B as in boy. Do you recognize what's shown in 52B?
I do.
Who is that?
That's Juice.
The government offers 52B.
No objection. In evidence?
May we publish?
Yes.
And I am now showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as 52C. And before I do you know the first and last name of Juice?
I do.
I am showing you 52C. On top, is that the same photograph shown in 52B?
It is.
And below that, is that the first and last name that you know of Juice, who is shown in 52B and C?
It is.
The government offers 52C and asks that it be published to the jury only.
Any objections?
No.
I'm showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 72. Do you recognize 72?
I do.
Who is 72?
V.
Government offers 72.
No objections.
That's in evidence.
May we publish?
Yes.
And I am showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as Government's Exhibit 78. Do you recognize 78?
I do.
Who is that?
Joy.
And do you know the government offers 78?
Any objections? No objection.
Okay, that's in evidence.
May I publish?
Is that to go to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you know Joy's first and last name?
I do.
I am showing the witness only what's been marked for identification as 78A. And where my pen is indicating, is that the same photograph that was just shown in Government 78?
It is.
And below that, is that the first and last name of Joy?
Yes.
The government offers 78A and asks that it be published to the jury only.
No objection.
Okay, that's in.
Now, you testified earlier that you found out that the defendant was living with multiple females about 4 or 5 months in.
Yes.
How old were you when that happened?
Oh, jeez.
Here we go
I
again.
was 17.
And so, when you say 4 or 5 months, do you mean 4 or 5 months from when you started, when you met the defendant?
Objection.
What did you mean by 4 or 5 months?
Well, I had initially met all of them from time to time. However, I did not know that they were his girlfriends that he was living with.
When did you learn, though, that he was living with them in relation to when you first met the defendant?
About 45 months after meeting him.
Now, did you continue to spend time with the defendant after you learned that he was living with these other females?
I did.
What, if any, rules did the defendant set with respect to how you should interact with these females?
He told me to listen to whatever they said because it was basically coming from him.
And how, if any, information did you understand you should be sharing with these individuals, these women that he was living with?
I could not share any of my personal information with them.
And how did you know that?
The defendant had told me not to.
Now, through your testimony today, you've testified about certain rules that the defendant wanted you to follow. What, if anything, would happen if you did not follow one of those rules?
I would be chastised.
And what do you mean, again, by chastising?
Meaning that he would spank me.
Who used the word chastising?
The defendant.
Were there other things that might happen if you didn't follow one of the defendant's rules?
Yes.
What?
Sometimes, occasionally, I would be left in a room or my phone would be taken, or sometimes I would receive a punishment if it was a drastic rule that I had broken.
And I want to start with chastisements or spankings. Do you recall the first time that the defendant spanked you?
I do.
Where do you recall that happened?
It was in Atlanta, Georgia.
How old were you?
I was 17.
Now, wait a minute. Remember, just before she went back to school, she told him she was 18, and she said that he has never hit her before?
Sure did. It wasn't until she told him her true age.
Yeah.
So we ain't got to that part, right? I mean,
yeah, we passed it.
We passed that part, yeah.
Yeah. And what do you remember happening?
I remember him saying that he has protocols and rules that need to be followed, and that a chastising was only to help me be better and remember the small things, just in case I was not remembering the things to do.
And did you know what the defendant meant when he used the word chastising?
No, I did not.
How did you learn?
I asked him what it was.
What did he say?
He said that it was just a spanking to help me to remember.
And I think you testified that it was in Atlanta the first time that the defendant spanked you. Is that correct?
Yes. You got that noted?
Yep. I'm doing it right now.
He said the first time he spanked her where?
In Atlanta. But remember,
unless you're going to try to say it was spanking, and he slapped her the last time. He slapped her on the face.
In the park when she revealed how old she was.
So maybe that's two different things, okay? But anyway, we'll note it. But he laid his hands on her, so I mean, she said that was the first time he laid his hands on her in the park.
When she revealed her age.
Right. And remember, she said that before that he never put his hands on her.
Never put her hands on her. Yep, sure did. So we got that noted.
Where in Atlanta were you?
We were in a hotel, I believe the Hyatt.
And what, if anything, do you remember about that particular hotel room?
I remember that we were in a room and the number was 407. And I thought that it was so bizarre because my area code for my cell phone number was 407.
So that was the number of the hotel room?
Yes.
Now, do you recall what rule, or do you recall what prompted the defendant to tell you about those chastisements and to spank you that day in room 407 in Atlanta?
I had did something that he didn't like, and he said that it was time to teach me about the protocols and chastising.
As you sit here today, do you know what it was that you did that the defendant did not like?
I do not recall.
Can you describe? Now, hold on. I'm making a note there because, come on now, if you got a spanking for it, you're going to remember what you got spanked for.
Especially if that's the first time you got spanked.
First time, yeah.
Right.
You know exactly what it was.
Can you describe specifically what the defendant did when he spanked you?
He did make my take off my underwear. Oh Lord, underwear. I was wearing a dress.
It must meant me.
Oh wait, that's
Can I ask you a question? If he lived in Atlanta, why is he staying at a hotel?
Yeah, because he got a big house in Atlanta.
He has two houses in Atlanta too.
Yeah. Exactly.
But hold on. She was wearing a dress, not baggy clothes.
Right.
I'm making a note to that too.
Yeah, line 12. He did make my take off my underwear. I was wearing a dress, and he did spank me 3 times. Open palm. Here we go with that open palm. It's got to be the open palm.
Mm-hmm.
Pow, pow, pow. Smack that
Daddy.
butt. Smack that butt. Exactly. They killed me with this
Were
open
you
palm.
listening when he spanked you?
I was facing the left, and I was standing up, and my butt was facing his left palm.
Left palm. Oh, really?
Really?
Come on.
But
You don't remember where your
Why?
butt was facing which palm?
You know, this detail like his left palm.
You don't remember the reason why, but you remember the left
can
palm
left
of
palm,
your
yeah.
butt.
Exactly.
All prosecution mess.
Exactly.
All prosecution mess.
Anybody that gets chastisements can tell you why before they can tell you how they was faced.
Oh, I can't wait
It's
to Kanik.
If I'm facing left and I'm standing up and my butt was facing his left palm, how do you know it was open or closed? You don't know.
Right? That's another one. Let me mark that down.
You're not facing him.
You don't know what he could have picked something up while you was facing the wall and hit you with it. Whatever. Girl, have several seats. And if we say 17 one more time, I'm gonna scream.
Okay. How often did the defendant spank you during the time that you spent with him?
I would get chastised nearly every 2 to 3 days.
Oh my God.
So you saying you was acting up that bad, right?
Right.
Well, she said they was having sex just about every other day, so that was part of their little kinky sex.
Right.
That's what it was from.
Especially she had to take her underwear off. Come on now.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Exactly.
Know what's going to happen. And when they chastise, what are you referring to?
Spankings.
You testified that the first time the defendant spanked you 3 times.
You muted. You're not.
My phone was ringing. Did you remember? Did the number of spankings change from a particular incident to another incident?
Yes, they did.
How, if at all, would you know how many spankings the defendant was going to give you?
He would always tell me beforehand and to prepare.
What would he do?
Foreplay. That's
exactly.
For him to tell you how many spank oh my God, that's foreplay.
So yeah, they taking his sex foreplay life and making it seem like he was abusive.
Because if you're gonna beat somebody, you're not gonna tell him how many slicks you're gonna give him.
Exactly. That's like when I
you just start beating.
Yeah, you just start whooping. You didn't care. Okay, whatever.
It seemed like an act from the movie 50 Shades.
Exactly.
Yeah, it does.
Remember when he spanked her, had that, and told her how many lashes she was gonna get?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's from that scene. That's what it looked like.
See if some of these lines match up or something.
What would he do?
He would tell me how many spankings I would have to take, and he would just tell me to just be ready.
50
now,
Shades.
how people get mad and try to prepare you to get your butt whooped? Come on now. Other than spankings, did the defendant ever physically hurt you?
Yes, he did.
Do you recall the first time that happened?
Catch this right here. The first time that happened was probably in Atlanta, Georgia. Nope, you said Chicago.
And tell me, back up one moment, regarding your testimony about the spankings.
Hold on a second. I got the 50 grades where he about to spank her. Hold on.
Watch.
50 Shades of fucked up.
For educational purposes, we're listening to this.
Show me then.
Uh-oh.
need you to show me what you want to do to me. Punish me. Show me how bad it can be. I want you to show me the worst. It's the only way I can understand.
Uh-oh, you're about to spank her, y'all.
Mm.
You got the belt. Got the belt.
Be sure about this.
Sure.
Yes.
Turn your ass around.
Oh, he took her clothes off, taking her underwear. She's taking her underwear off.
See that?
See? Seems like the same thing.
He said, bend over.
Same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hit you 6 times.
Oh,
See?
there it is.
See? See?
There it
Didn't I
is.
tell you?
There it is.
Didn't I tell you?
Exactly. That's what they pulled that from that 50 Shades.
I don't want you to think I watched that movie. I do. I
Yes,
did.
you do.
But I did. I
It
did.
was good. I've never
I
watched
I
it.
did. That's how I can
He
recognize
said,
this whole
I'm
thing
gonna-
that they're talking about.
I'm going to hit you 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So I recognize it.
There it is, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Busted prosecution. Busted.
Yeah,
Boom.
he took it right out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But like 8, did you make a note of 8? The question,
8. Yep.
other than spanking, did the defendant ever physically hurt you? Yes, he did. Do you recall the first time that happened? It was probably in Atlanta, Georgia. You said he smacked you in Chicago. That was the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I got him.
Mm-hmm.
Got 8 to number 12.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Liar.
Your pants
That's
on
why
Just
fire.
like your daddy.
Song. You testified the first time that you had taken off your underwear. Is that correct?
Yes.
Were those spankings that happened subsequently by the defendant? Did you always have your underwear off?
Yes.
Can you describe to the jury how hard the defendant would spank you? How can you describe that?
Watch this. She black, but she seen this. Watch the next one.
Yes. He would leave bruises, and sometimes, like, it would make my skin tear. Really.
Oh, really?
You don't have
Jesus
no picture.
Christ. Shit, but there ain't nothing to back it up.
Right. How did it make you feel?
Terrible.
Did it hurt?
It would, yes.
Before I interrupted you, you were about to testify about the first time that you remember the defendant physically hurting you, other than these spankings. And I think you testified that you were in Atlanta. Do you recall? That's leading.
Mm-hmm.
Recall
Mhm.
what started the particular incident?
He had received a text message.
Did you see the text message?
He showed me, yes.
Who did the defendant tell you the text message was from?
He said that it was from a man by the name of Devin.
And did you see the text message itself?
I did, yes.
What was the text message?
It was my name and a rat emoji. Now she remember why she got a chastisement or whatever from this. She still remember the first time. Girl, please. My name and a rat.
So it was a ratty bullshit. Oh God. Yeah.
At the time that text message, or that you saw that text message, did you know who Devin was?
I did not.
What happened after the defendant received that text message?
He had taken my phone and asked me who I had been talking to.
And backing up one moment, you testified that this happened in Atlanta. Do you recall how old you were?
God, Jesus.
I was 17.
Hold on one moment. I want to mark something
That
down.
17 never gives up.
Girl, I'm
No, they want to focus on that.
17.
Mm-hmm. That's why they keep
Well, they're
going
gonna,
back to it because she turned 18, did she? I thought it was testimony about 6 pages ago.
Oh
yeah,
my
and they
God,
want to
this
keep
is
her in that time
Mm-hmm.
from
Mm-hmm.
September to no later than November. You see, when they
Mm-hmm.
got to November, it was closer to her birthday, but they went back. It's like they want to keep her from September
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
November.
Miss
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia, will
Hmm?
they release that text message if it was in evidence? I sure would like to see the data.
And
They should.
again, nothing from the parents. That's
They
what
should
scares me
release
out.
it.
No.
No, that was from that Devin.
Oh
They should
yeah.
release it. It's in evidence.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to check the date on that.
Mm.
What, if anything, did the defendant say when he took your phone?
Okay, wait a minute. Okay. He said that I had 30 seconds to be honest and to puke. And if I left out any small detail, that it would go up in that room.
Now, when you said he told you that you had 30 seconds to be honest and to puke, what did you mean by that?
Meaning, like, to tell him whom I have been talking to and to be completely honest with him.
And when you said that you had 30 seconds to do that or it would go up in that room, what do you mean by that?
Meaning that there would be no chastising, meaning that it would really be a physical altercation.
How did you respond?
I was honest, but I did leave out details. And he did begin to physically hit me.
What were you honest? What did you tell the defendant?
I told him that I had been talking to Mia.
Who is Mia again?
Mia is he was my best friend at the time.
Can I ask you a question? Why she never talk about the guy that she used to speak with, that boy?
What was his name?
Question.
That was what's his name? What was that young man name that she used to talk to all the time when she was with Rob?
Chat.
The boy she made the
one whose dad, Bobby is the dad, but I don't know
right.
the son's name. Bobby's son. I know Bobby is the guy, the dad. I just need to. What was his son's name? You notice they didn't say nothing about him, her talking to him. And remember, she used to talk to him all the time
Mm-hmm.
because he's the one told that they didn't have sex yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she had sex with him, she told the boy.
Do not remember his name, but I know.
You guys, just chat. Do you guys remember his name? You don't remember his son name. Okay.
Go ahead.
DJ C. Gallon.
I think DJ does sound familiar.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You said that you left out details?
Wait, where you at? Wait a minute, let me see.
We're at the top of 9:15.
Okay.
What do you recall leaving out?
I told him I had left out that we had been intimate and that I had expressed that to Mia.
I'm sorry. So what did you not tell the defendant?
I did not tell him that we were being intimate.
That who was being intimate?
Me and the defendant.
Okay. Who had you told that you and the defendant were intimate?
I had told my best friend Mia.
Okay. And did you leave out the fact that you had told Mia that you and the defendant had been intimate?
Yes, I did.
How did the defendant respond?
He began to hit me.
What happened after that?
He continuously began to hit me. And in between it, he would ask me, "Are you ready to be honest?" And I would say, "I don't know what you're talking about." And he would continue to hit me.
How was he hitting you?
Oh, Lord. He was hitting me with an open palm and a closed palm.
Where in your body was he hitting you?
How do you hit with a closed palm? Do you hit?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really.
If
not
it
a
was
punch.
closed palm, it would have been a punch.
Yeah, that means she
Yes.
punched.
Yeah.
So that means you should have some bruises. Should been going to the hospital because you.
Right.
And how do you continuously begin?
Exactly.
Okay.
Objection to leading. Well, where was he hitting you? It's not leading. On your body, it is. Well, it's not. Overruled.
Oh, she's something else.
Of course.
See, Daniel, overrule. They do overrule all the time.
He hit me all over. He would hit me in my face, in my arms, on my butt.
Now, if he hit you in your face, you're gonna have some bruises. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And you're going to take some pictures for evidence.
Exactly. Like you
You
told
took
her.
pictures of everything else.
Yeah, she took pictures of them together. So she sent to Mia and Malik so that they would know that they were together. So why didn't you take pictures of this beating? Okay, whatever. All over my body.
What happened?
I continued not to be honest with him. And then he went in his closet and grabbed one of his Air Force One shoes.
What, if anything, did he do with one of his shoes?
He continued to hit me until I finally broke.
What did he use to hit you then?
An Air Force One, size 12. Shit.
She remembers all that, but she can't remember why she got
first spanking. Yeah. Girl, boo.
Do you remember where on your body he hit you?
He hit me all over.
With the shoe?
Yes.
How, if at all, did you react when the defendant was hitting you with the shoe?
I was running from him in our master bedroom in Atlanta. I remember we were in the We were in the restroom and somehow we ended all the way in the master bedroom. And I was trying to run from him and fight back, but I'm literally no match. Okay, when did we get to the house? I thought we was in the hotel.
Right.
In the Hyatt.
How is it your bedroom? I was running from him in our bedroom.
You done superseded all the other living girlfriends. Okay.
How tall are you?
I'm 4'11".
Do you remember how much you weighed back then in 2015?
I was about 98 pounds.
How tall is the defendant?
He is 6 foot.
How did that end?
He's taller than 6 foot.
How did that end? What happened?
After that, I admitted to everything, and I did tell him that I had told Mia that we had been intimate, and he told me how he would fix it. And then he told Juice to come in the bedroom, and he told her to run your sister a bath water.
Now, you said that the defendant said how you would fix it. What did the defendant say to do?
He then told me to text Mia, and he told me exactly what to say to Mia in the text message.
Did you do that?
I did, yes.
You said that Juice then ran a bath for you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Where did that happen?
It happened in our master bedroom.
And when you say your master bedroom, what are you referring to? What residence? What house?
At the big house.
In Atlanta?
Yes.
Do you know where Juice was when the defendant was assaulting you?
I do not. No.
Do you know where the defendant went when did Juice in fact run you bath?
Yes, she did.
Do you know where the defendant went when Juice came and ran you a bath?
No, I do not.
Did you eventually meet an individual named Devin?
Years later, yes.
Do you remember approximately when you met him?
I met him, I believe, in the year of 2020.
What if, and now that's another thing that Devin said he was around for years.
Who was he?
Wasn't he that John Doe number 2, Sylvia? I think,
Devin?
huh?
No. Devin is the guy, what's his name? Who Cheryl Mack worked for. That was what's his D
Oh,
Devon?
yeah.
D
Yeah.
Devon?
Okay. Yep. I remember now. And what was in the text? Oh, wait.
What if anything?
What, if anything, did Devin show you?
Devin had showed me the same text, which was the last text that he had sent the defendant.
And what was in the text?
It was my name with the rat emoji. The Devin was trying to warn R. Kelly.
Yeah. You testified that at times the defendant had you stay in a room. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you remember the first time that the defendant had you stay in a room?
It was in 2015.
What happened?
It was in the previous evidence that, oh, wait a minute. It was in the previous evidence that you had showed where he said that I could not leave the room.
Can you describe what location that was?
I do not recall, but I do know that we were on the West Coast.
But she remembered the previous evidence. Okay, do you remember what prompted him to tell you that you couldn't leave the room?
No, he had expressed that it was a rule of his.
Okay, so let me back up. I think you testified earlier that one of the ways, if you broke a rule, one thing that the defendant sometimes did was had you stay in a room. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Did there come a time when the defendant, in fact, made you stay in a room because you had broken a rule?
Yes.
Do you remember the first time that happened?
Yes.
Where did that happen?
That happened in Chicago.
Where in Chicago?
At the studio on Ohio Street.
And what do you remember? What led to that?
Yes.
I'm sorry. What happened?
I had gone shopping with Jews, and she had tried to convince me to get sweats in a size large. And I had got them in an extra small. And he had told me, told me that anything that came from her was coming from him, and I didn't listen to her.
And when you said he told you that anything that came from her was coming from him, who was the him in that sentence?
The defendant.
And who is the her in that sentence?
Juice.
Do you recall whether or not what size sweats you bought that day?
I did buy extra small from Hollister.
What is Hollister?
Hollister is a clothing store for like a lot of teens.
What happened? Do you remember where you went after you went shopping that day?
Yes, we went back to the studio.
The studio on Ohio Street?
Yes.
What happened when you got back to the studio?
I had tried on my clothes like I usually do after I was done shopping, and I tried on my sweats, and
Who, if anyone, was present for when you tried on your sweats?
him and Juice were present.
The defendant and Juice?
Yes.
What happened?
He saw the sweats on me, and he wasn't happy. And he then said, "Didn't Juice tell me to get a size large?" And I said, "Yes."
You said the defendant wasn't happy. What made you believe the defendant wasn't happy?
Because I had went against what Juice had told me to do.
What, if anything, did the defendant do or say, though, that made you think he wasn't happy?
He did, in fact, leave me in that room.
When you say he did, in fact, leave you in that room, what are you talking about?
I was in the 5-star at the time, and he basically felt that I felt like I didn't do anything wrong. And so as a punishment, he said I could not leave out of the room until I admitted to what I had done.
You mentioned the 5-star. What do you mean by 5-star?
The 5-star was a room inside of his Ohio Street studio, which he would have parties in on the weekend.
And when you were trying on the clothes that you had purchased in front of the defendant and Juice, where in the studio were you?
We were in the 5-star.
And how did the defendant express to you that he wanted you to stay in the 5-star room?
He told me that I cannot leave out of this room until I admit what I should have done.
What happened then?
I didn't leave outside of the room for about 3 to 4 days. Girl, please.
Right. Where was the defendant when you were in the room?
I don't know.
Did you see him?
What do you mean?
While you were in the room for 3 or 4 days, what, if any, contact did you have with the defendant?
Oh, he would come in and he would check on me and ask me, was I ready to be honest? And I would express that I didn't have anything to be honest about, and he would leave again.
What, if anything, did you understand the defendant wanted you to do while you were in the 5-star room at the Ohio Street studio?
He wanted me to admit that I should have listened to Juice and that I should have gotten the sweats in a size large.
What, if anything, did you eat while you were in the room?
Food was brought to me, and I would know because they would knock on the door.
And when you say they would knock on the door, what specifically did you hear?
I would just hear a knock on the door.
And what, if anything, would you do when you heard a knock on the door?
The defendant would always tell me anytime I heard a knock to wait 30 seconds before opening the door to give whoever it was time to leave.
So as you sit here today, do you know who brought you the food while you were in the 5-star room for 3 to 4 days?
I do not.
Did there come a time, well, you testified that you were in there for 3 to 4 days. What, if anything, happened that allowed you finally to leave that room?
I had admitted that I was wrong and that I should have listened to Juice.
How did you admit that you were wrong?
I had physically told him when he came in the room.
How did he respond once you told him that you were wrong?
He was happy and...
Objection.
Well, when you say you were happy, how did you know that?
Because afterwards, I immediately left the room and he let me go into the studio with him.
Now, to be clear, the room where you stayed for 3 to 4 days, was there a lock on the door?
There is not.
And what, if anything, did you think would happen if you did walk out of the room?
I would get in trouble even more.
And what did you think? What do you mean by that?
I didn't know what would happen, but I just knew that I would probably get in even more trouble if I did choose to leave out of that room.
You testified earlier about a time in which the defendant used his shoe to hit you. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
Aside from spankings, did you ever see the defendant physically hit or assault another of those females that were living with him?
Yes, I have.
What did you see personally? What did you see?
I have seen him slap his other living girlfriends, open palm. I have seen him drag them by their hair. I have seen him punch them in their face and all over their bodies. And I have also seen him hit them with objects.
What objects have you seen the defendant hit them with?
I've seen the defendant also use shoes. And also once I did see him use a cord of some sort.
How did that make you feel?
I felt like I needed to listen even more because that could also happen to me.
Miss Geddes, just whenever you're ready, if it's a good time to break, I just want to give the jurors their afternoon break.
We can take a break right now.
Okay, so folks, we'll break for 15 minutes or so. Please don't talk about the case. at all, but we'll see you in a few minutes. All right, everybody can sit down. All right, anything before we break? Your Honor, just relating to the government soliciting testimony. I can't hear you. As it relates to the government soliciting testimony regarding Mr. Kelly's prior criminal proceedings. Right. I would just, we would consent to the government's actually asking him about being in a prior proceeding, a prior court proceeding. I mean, I can't remember what my, I'm going to have to go back and look at what my ruling was at the time. You didn't take advantage of it, but I think it should be the same ruling. I mean, the reasoning is the same. Well, I think your ruling was another witness, and at the time, you indicated that the door was open. There's going to be a door opening with respect to this witness, and it wasn't elicited at the time, and the government did not go back or redirect as the witness and ask the witness anything about it. I think she tried, and I sustained the objection because it was beyond the scope. That's my recollection.
I know.
Well, if you call it a prior proceeding, I mean, the point is, in addition to, it's not just I made the ruling with respect to another witness, it's because it's relevant to establish why she did what she did. So I'll permit it for that purpose, but you can refer to it as a prior proceeding.
But I think, Your Honor, you previously had advised that there's already been testimony in the record about a prior court proceeding. Here, the witness, I think, needs to explain that the reason why she was not truthful about her age was because the defendant was on trial for a crime involving a minor.
That shouldn't be let in. That should not.
No, because she
No, that should not. That case is over and done with.
Mm-hmm. But they keep going back, you see.
She already said the door, and when she ruled, now she's got amnesia, but she ruled that no, they can't bring it in. She said, unless the defense opens up the door. If the defense opens up, then it's open. But the defense ain't opening the door. It's the prosecution that's trying to get that in there.
Yeah, she ruled on it when we was reading Geronda's.
Mm-hmm.
On the first witness.
And Ash shouldn't even be talking about the trial. Hell, she wasn't even born. Let me see, she was born, but what was she, about 5? It ain't got nothing to do with her.
Right.
Well, you can call it, you can say, I don't think you'll have a problem that there was testimony, that there was a trial, and you can say that the subject was his. What did we agree on before? Do you have to say it's a criminal trial? I mean, it's just not necessary.
A trial?
It's a trial involving conduct with a minor. I would object to that, Your Honor.
Exactly.
I think that if there's a question asked where, I think that if there was a question asked where in order for the witness to, I guess, given what she thinks is the rationale for her saying that she was 18. Well, there was a prior court proceeding. Play that court part.
That's what I just said.
Right, but not regarding the minor.
No. I mean, the whole reason why, just the fact that it's a prior proceeding doesn't really say a whole lot. But that's what her concern was, that it was because she was also a minor. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any sense.
Judge.
I mean, do you plan to cross-examine her about it? Like you did the last witness, about why she lied to him about how old she was?
I didn't focus on that with this.
I understand.
As I recall from the 302s, she's saying that it was her parents who told her to tell him that she was 18. Nothing to do with her. It wasn't her thought. It was her parents' thought, her mother's thought.
Well, let's do this. You know, you can do the examination with her, and just in an excess of caution, I'll do what I did the last time. If you question her about that and the door is open, I'll permit the government to bring out some more information about that. And it will really be really just the same thing. So you can continue the examination when you do your cross. If you challenge her on that, as you did the last witness, then I'll let the government ask what they're going to ask.
Very well.
So, Your Honor, I may go back and let the witness know what I previously told them.
All right.
But with respect to when I asked her about what, if anything, the defendant said about the reason for the letters, she will answer that the defendant told her that it was because his attorneys told him to do it. I assume she had that statement.
She already said that.
No, I hadn't asked the witness.
But she did say something about talking to lawyers, didn't she?
She did.
I think it's fine that he's talking to lawyers. I don't understand counsel to be objecting to that. The discrete objection is referring to the prior criminal proceedings, which I did preclude inquiry on. And I permitted it the last time because the defense quite clearly opened the door to it. It's a fair point that he hasn't really opened the door on this one because he hasn't had a chance to ask her any question. So let's do it the same way we did it the last time. And if you need to confer with the witness, just to straighten that out, go ahead and do it. All right. See you in a few minutes. All right. Do we have everybody we need to have? Okay. Let's get the jury.
Should we stop here? It's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours?
Yeah.
Or did we start right at 7? What time did we start? What's Sylvia? Sylvia's muted.
Sylvia's probably in the chat room. Come on in here, Sylvia.
Yeah, we can because they can bring the witness back in.
Yeah.
So we
So we're starting on 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30. Page
9:30.
Line we'll redo 15.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mark 15.
Yeah, we'll redo 15.
Seal.
Where's my
Butt on in here.
Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Y'all finish?
Yeah, we at the hour mark.
9:30. Line 15 is where we're stopping.
We at the 2-minute mark or 2 hour mark, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
2 hours and 8 minutes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Daniel, can you do me a favor? Can you email me, Daniel, please? Daniel, could you please email me? Guys, could you put your email? Could you put my email in there so Daniel could email me, please? All right, guys. So what number are we at?
We're on page 930, line 15? That's what we're gonna pick up tomorrow.
You know, this is ridiculous how long the examination
is. That
direct.
She keep asking her the same stuff going. It's you already got your point across. She's 17. Okay, let's be done with the spankings test. You only need to say it once for them to hear it. She keeps going over and over, just drilling it and drilling.
17. She's been 17.
I'm so sick and tired of 17.
Me.
Dang.
Yeah, she wanted to drill that in the jury's head, no matter what, and just kept going. Because even after she turned 18, there was no reason to go back to anything when she was 17, because you're moving on. So you done turned 18. She jumped back to whatever was going on when she was 17 to keep drilling in 17.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't see no evidence to show that she was 17. That there's,
you know what?
They're submitting.
Even the spankings, that's still not a federal crime.
No.
Get it. People fight, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife fight, but I don't understand what's the federal crime here.
At the most, it's domestic violence. That's it. That don't wife.
But if they didn't file no charges for domestic violence, why are we here?
Right.
Well, they wanted to keep showing that she was 17
Yeah.
when she lied and said she was 18, but she was really 17. So when they were saying you were here in Vegas and you were here in Florida and you were here in Los Angeles and you were here in New York, that's where they were trying to establish that man at,
Yeah,
that he had her traveling and taking her across these state lines and stuff to do whatever it was that he wanted to do.
I
but they
believe
also
Cheryl should have been charged because she the one was doing everything. How do we know? Because he didn't control his money. He didn't go to the bank. He said he went to the bank for the first time when a couple of years
When they
ago.
would,
Yeah.
before he got
So
locked up.
he wasn't handling the money. It was Cheryl. So she should have been charged.
Yep. And they're trying to say that she was saying she was 18 because of the trial, but Koenig just showed in there in the 3500
Mhm.
that she was saying she was 18 because the mother told her to.
That's right.
hmm
We ain't heard no more from the mama since California.
Yep.
Not a text, not how you doing, not nothing. She talking to Mia and Malik, whoever it is.
Yep.
I'm like, really?
hmm
You ain't got no text from your mama? He ain't got no text from your mama?
That just don't make
Crazy. This don't make sense. This don't make sense. Now y'all gonna give her to a total stranger that y'all ain't never met.
right.
And you ain't even following up daily.
Even check on your child,
Child.
knowing she's supposed to be in school,
Yeah, and
but it ain't bothering you at all.
yeah, you ain't checked up to see how is she doing, keeping up with her homework. You ain't
hmm
checking up to, nothing. This is just crazy. This is just crazy.
And it's just like more lies and more lies and more lies.
Mhm. Yep.
They
This
came
is
up with
crazy.
the song at the right time. Even though I wouldn't, I don't listen to it. I heard it one time. That was it.
What, her song?
Yeah.
I don't listen to nothing she do. I don't even go on her page, nothing. This is
hmm
crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. It's just sad.
I don't understand who would sign over consent to somebody that you never met before.
Only when you got a plot.
Yeah.
When you are plotting something.
Because before I went and took her out of school, I always said, no, you need to come to Atlanta. We need to sit down with you. I need to know who you are, get some information about you, blah, blah, blah. And I still wouldn't have been doing it.
Right.
Why couldn't the mama or one of the parents go back?
Well, he's got so much money.
Yeah, at that time, he could have put them up in a hotel room or
Right.
somewhere.
Right.
Yep.
But anyway, the thing of it is you hear it in the music industry all the time how, people want their kids to have a college education because what if something doesn't work out?
Right.
Nothing's guaranteed.
That's right.
It,
This is crazy.
it's just so sad because the simple fact of it is, would they want to face life for something like this?
And let me tell you how protective I am. My granddaughter, how old was Jayla? She was probably, I'm going to say she was probably, I don't think she was in kindergarten yet. But anyway, I went to school with this lady. We were classmates. We graduated. But I hadn't seen her in like 30 years. And so her child and one of my kids, they shared the same father. We found out they shared the same father. Well, I was out of town or something and came back in town. No, I tell you what, I had picked up my granddaughter to take her to her granddad's. And I told him, I said, I would be by Sunday to pick her up. But when I went to pick her up, he said, she's with Marsha. And I'm like, what's she doing with Marsha? That's not the plan. I told you I was coming to pick her up. So I told him, no. I'm like, I haven't seen Marsha in 30 years. I don't know who stays with her, whatever. I'm going to get my grandbaby. And that's what I did. And Marsha was like, well, we classmates. Girl, I ain't seen you in 30 years. I don't know anything about you now. No, that's my grandbaby. I'm sorry. We went to school together. Yeah, we graduated together, but that's been over 30 some years. And this is the first time my grandbaby is seeing you. No. I went and got me and my auntie went and got her that night. About 11 something that night. No. I don't play those games. That's crazy.
Mm.
So this is
I'm right with you on that. When my kids were growing up, I never let them stay at other people's house. None of that. I would let their friends come here, and they was all on AAU basketball travel team, but I would take time off of work and travel right with them.
Yep. Now, when they get ready to do the appeal, do they have to they can present evidence, right? Or do they just basically filing paperwork?
I don't know about that
I wonder
stuff.
how that. Yeah, I wonder how that.
I would
This is
think
crazy.
Sylvia or
She's on mute. She must be doing.
No, I'm on mute because I was on the phone. What's up?
Okay. I had a question. When they get ready to do the appeal, are they just basically filing paperwork at that moment? They're not presenting any kind of evidence or anything, right?
I'm not. I can ask.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
This is just crazy. This is no sense.
you know,
Mm.
with him, it makes me mad because he tries to like cut down. He says he stands for women.
Hey, they're supposed to submit everything along with the motion.
Okay, so they got a little over 2 weeks. Well, less than 2 weeks. Well, about 2 weeks.
You know who I'm talking about, her dad, right? How he tries to say he stands for women and all this yada yada, but sits up there and tries to put us down like we couldn't afford a car for our kid when she was 15 or 16, or he don't know how any of us live.
Well, I was proud to be on the school bus, honey. That's when I got to hang with my friends on the school bus. It was some of my classmates that had cars, but it wasn't no big issue with me.
All my kids had a car. All my kids did. I work hard, shoot, to make sure my kids had stuff. For him to try to put women down like that, that burns me.
He's crazy.
I know.
Crazy. I think the prosecution knew if the parents had gotten on that witness stand.
In some parts,
about
the parents. The judge said, I can't remember where it was, but it says we're coming up to it.
Yeah, she wasn't gonna allow them to. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on one of their sidebars.
Mm-hmm.
It was about her spanking her. Not.
I know she said they can't give consent. Yeah. So in other words, they can't speak for her, but you're gonna let her speak for Aaliyah, and she wasn't even. That's why I'm like, this is so crazy.
But that thing right there,
that was
my niece.
She wasn't even in the picture. All she was going about was hearsay. Didn't have no evidence. Well, Rob told me this.
I just don't get it. My niece was pregnant and married at 15. I don't know how. I never agreed with it, but my sister did, and but she was pregnant and married at 15, and I don't know how they did it. They never got in trouble.
Yeah.
And he was older. He was in his 20s.
Well, as long as the parents didn't object to it, I guess that's fine.
Yeah, I guess.
Unless here emancipation paperwork.
In Michigan, legal age of consent is 16. But I don't know how any of that stuff works. So I don't know.
But if they in Chicago and the legal consent is 17, what's the issue?
That's what I didn't understand. That's why they're trying to bring all these cities into it, to prove the racketeering. I'm thinking.
It didn't matter. That I'm sorry. That jury had his mind made up, period.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't matter.
They didn't even deliberate because they would have caught what we caught yesterday. She was 16. She was 18 in that one venue. Oh, the buffet tour.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of this case, you could go back and match up a lot of them dates, and I bet you're going to find a lot of errors.
Yeah, but they wanted to keep that small window from October or September to November. They stayed right within that, and everything happened within that little time frame.
Yeah.
17, 17, 17. Everything that went on was within that window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It sure was.
And if somebody's beating me, slapping me, and I'm not even kin to this person, I'm calling my mama, my daddy, come get me.
Right. But you know why she didn't? Because she was used to it, because that's what they did to her.
Yep.
Or it's not true.
Yep.
Set up from the jump.
Mm-hmm. Especially when
was a setup. And I do think that whole bombing of that car was a setup too. They had their hands in that.
And it didn't have anything to do with him, so.
That might have been because he was messing around with that girl. You know who I'm talking about, right? Do you? I know you do, Rhoda. Cash.
Oh yeah, Cash. Let's see.
Why would everything she say be a lie, but everything him and his side said is the truth? Come on now.
Right.
But she's a lie.
This is crazy.
How come you're so quiet?
Who's that?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just listening. I'm sitting here trying to maintain my composure because I keep thinking about the rat emoji.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was trying to warn Kelly.
He was. He really was.
He was trying to warn him.
I wonder what he knew that no one else knew.
He knew something because he was spot on.
Yeah.
He was spot on with that. The darn rat. So how did you know it was him? He let me read it. And what did you see? My name with a rat emoji. Yeah. Yeah, I think he knew something. Dang, I thought
Let's go to 15. Let's see. I got all his tour history up. So let's go to 15. Okay, let's go to.
Well, I'm off so I can let my dogs out and stuff.
Yeah, you know, they like your attention and stuff. You reading and everything. The door closed, you know, with the door closed. I bet you they right there by it.
Yeah, they are. Was in here barking the whole time.
Thank you there, Handy Hand, Miss Gaddis.
Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Enjoy your evening. I'm so glad it's Friday tomorrow. That's for sure.
I know, me too. It's been a long week.
Yes, I believe it has. All right, enjoy your evening, lady.
You too. Bless you.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Let's see.
Sia, where you at? You up there in the chat? I know you was.
I'm here.
Kind of. You feel a little better, but I know it's late. It's 10 o'clock.
Yeah. All right, guys. You guys have a good night, everybody.
All right, chat. Thank you for supporting as usual.
All righty.
All right. Good night.
I appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah.